Hey everyone, welcome back to Unsolved Files. Before we get into today's video, if you're someone who gets uncomfortable with disturbing content, you might want to click away now. Because what you're about to see isn't fiction. These aren't horror movies. These are real recordings captured by real people in moments when they realized something was terribly, terribly wrong. And here's the thing that makes these 7 pieces of footage so unsettling. They were never meant to be seen by the public. They were personal recordings, security cameras, or documentary footage that accidentally captured something that still has no explanation to this day. So if you're ready, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's dive into footage number 1. But I'm warning you, some things, once you see them, you can't unsee. Number 1. Picture this. You're staying at a hotel. You press the elevator button, waiting to go up to your room. The doors open, and you see someone inside, pressing every single button, hiding in the corner, peeking out, as if they're terrified of something, or someone you can't see. That's exactly what was captured on the Cecil Hotel's elevator camera on January 31st, 2013. Elisa Lam was a bright, creative college student from Vancouver who was traveling alone through California. She was staying at the Cecil Hotel, a place with a dark history we'll get to in a moment. And on that day, she stepped into an elevator. Now, I want you to watch what happens next, carefully. Because every investigator, every psychiatrist, every person who's analyzed this footage asks the same question. What was she running from? In the video, Elisa enters the elevator and immediately presses multiple floor buttons. Normal enough, right? But then, she doesn't leave. Instead, she moves to the corner and waits. She peeks her head out, looking down the hallway, as if checking if someone followed her. Here's where it gets strange. She steps out of the elevator, looks both ways, and then jumps back in. She presses herself against the wall. Then, she starts making these strange hand gestures, almost like she's talking to someone or trying to explain something to someone we can't see. But wait, because it gets worse. The elevator doors stay open the entire time. 4 minutes. 4 full minutes of Elisa acting like she's hiding from something, and the elevator doors just stay open. Anyone who's been in an elevator knows they close after seconds, not minutes. Finally, Elisa steps out of the elevator one last time, walks down the hallway, and disappears from view. The doors close, and that was the last time anyone saw Elisa Lam alive. Now you might be thinking, maybe she was having a mental health episode. Maybe the drugs she was prescribed caused erratic behavior. And that's what investigators thought too, until they found her body. 19 days later, hotel guests started complaining that the water tasted strange. It was dark. It had a weird smell. Maintenance workers went up to the roof to check the water tanks, and when they opened one of them, they found Elisa's body floating inside. But here's what doesn't make sense. Those water tanks were incredibly difficult to access. You had to climb a ladder, open a locked door to the roof, then climb another ladder to reach the tanks. The tank lids were heavy and required significant force to open. Security footage showed no one else accessing the roof that night. So the question remains, how did Elisa Lam get into that water tank? Was she running from someone in that elevator, or was something else happening that we still don't understand? The footage leaves more questions than answers, and that's what makes it nightmare fuel. But if you think that's disturbing, wait until you see what a family accidentally recorded during their vacation. March 13th, 1997. It's a clear evening in Phoenix, Arizona. Families are having dinner, kids are playing outside, and life is completely normal. And then, at approximately 8:30 p.m., people start seeing something in the sky. At first, it looks like a series of lights, 7, maybe 9 lights arranged in a perfect V shape. But as people grab their cameras, remember, this is 1997, so we're talking camcorders, they realize something terrifying. This isn't multiple objects, it's one massive craft, and it's completely silent. Now I want you to understand the scale of what we're talking about here. Witnesses describe this object as anywhere from 1 to 2 miles wide. Let me put that in perspective. That's bigger than most cities. Some people said, when it passed overhead, it blocked out the stars completely. A man named Mike Fortson was driving with his family when he saw it. He pulled over, got out of his car, and looked up. In interviews, he described feeling this overwhelming sense of dread, not because the object was threatening, but because his brain couldn't comprehend what he was seeing. And here's the thing that makes this footage credible. This wasn't just random people seeing things. The governor of Arizona at the time, Fife Symington, saw it. Commercial pilots reported it. Police officers called it in. Even the military had to respond. The footage that was captured that night shows these lights hovering, moving in perfect formation, and then one by one, disappearing behind the mountain range. So what was it? The military later claimed it was flares from a training exercise. But here's the problem with that explanation. Flares fall. These lights held their position. Flares burn out in minutes. These lights were visible for hours across multiple cities. And why would military flares be arranged in a perfect geometric pattern spanning miles across the sky? The footage from that night raises an uncomfortable question. If something that massive can appear over one of America's largest cities, what else is up there that we're not being told about? Speaking of things in the sky that don't make sense, our next piece of footage was captured by professionals who had no idea what they were recording. February 1959. A group of 9 experienced hikers, all students and graduates from Ural Polytechnical Institute, set out on an expedition in the northern Ural Mountains of the Soviet Union. Their goal was to reach Otorten, a mountain about 10 days away. They never made it. What makes this case particularly haunting is that the hikers themselves documented their journey with cameras. The photos they took in the days leading up to their deaths show happy, smiling faces, friends joking around in the snow. Everything seemed normal, until it wasn't. On February 26th, when the group failed to return, a search party was sent out. What they found at the campsite has haunted investigators for over 6 decades. The tent was found sliced open from the inside. Not from the outside, from the inside, as if they were desperately trying to escape from something inside the tent, or they needed to get out so urgently they couldn't use the door. But here's what makes absolutely no sense. The hikers fled into the freezing night. Temperatures were around -25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, wearing almost nothing. No coats, some had only one shoe. One hiker was found wearing only underwear. The bodies were found scattered across the area. Some had massive internal injuries, fractured skulls, broken ribs. One woman was missing her tongue and eyes, but with almost no external wounds. A medical examiner said the force required to cause those injuries was equivalent to a car crash, but there were no signs of a struggle. No footprints from other people, just the hikers' own footprints leading away from the tent. Now here's where it gets even stranger. Some of the clothing found on the bodies was radioactive. Not highly radioactive, but enough that Soviet investigators noted it in their reports, and some witnesses reported seeing bright orange spheres in the sky around the same time in that area. The last photos on their cameras show strange lights in the distance, taken the night they died. One photo is almost completely black, except for what looks like bright spots of light. So what happened? An avalanche? The injuries don't match. An animal attack? No prints, no signs. Military testing? The Soviet government sealed the case and classified it for years. The footage they left behind, those final photographs, show people who had no idea they were about to experience something so terrifying. They'd rather face certain death in the freezing cold than stay in that tent. Now let's shift from the remote mountains of Russia to a suburban home in Texas, where a family's security camera caught something that still has no logical explanation. Imagine checking your home's security footage because your motion sensors kept going off at night. You're expecting to see a raccoon, maybe a neighborhood cat. Instead, you see this. In 2007, a homeowner in Fresno, California, captured something on his security camera that defies explanation. The footage shows two small figures, about 2 to 4 feet tall, walking through his front yard in the middle of the night. But here's what makes your skin crawl. These things don't walk like anything you've ever seen. They appear to be white or pale-colored, shaped almost like walking pants. No visible arms, no visible head. Just these long, thin legs moving in a smooth, almost fluid motion. They look like someone animated a pair of legs and forgot to add the rest of the body. The homeowner was so disturbed by the footage that he contacted local news stations. Paranormal investigators analyzed the video frame by frame. Everyone reached the same conclusion. Whatever these things are, they're not people in costumes, they're not animals, and they're not a camera glitch. What makes this footage particularly credible is that it's been captured multiple times by different people in different locations. In 2011, another video surfaced from Yosemite National Park showing a similar entity. Same unusual walk, same bizarre appearance. But here's something that will make you rethink this entire thing. Native American tribes from that region have stories going back hundreds of years about walking sticks or little people that appear at night. They describe them almost exactly like what we see in this footage, centuries before security cameras existed. So what are they? Undiscovered animals? Interdimensional beings? Some kind of elaborate hoax that multiple people across different years and locations all decided to coordinate? The footage raises more questions than answers. But if strange creatures walking through yards bothers you, our next video shows something even more disturbing. A last message from someone who knew they were about to die. Sometimes the scariest footage isn't captured by accident. It's recorded by people desperately trying to prove they're not losing their minds. In 2019, a young couple in Manchester, England, started experiencing strange occurrences in their apartment. At first, it was small things: doors closing on their own, objects moving, strange sounds at night. But then it escalated. The couple set up cameras throughout their apartment. What those cameras captured over the next 3 months is genuinely disturbing. In one clip, you can see their bedroom door slowly opening at 3:17 a.m. No one is near it. The couple is asleep in bed. The door opens, stays open for exactly 30 seconds, then slams shut so violently it wakes them up. In another video, kitchen cabinet doors start opening and closing in sequence, left to right, one after another, like someone invisible is walking down the line opening each one. But the footage that made them move out immediately was this. The couple had set up a camera in their living room aimed at the hallway. At 2:47 a.m., you can see a dark shadow, human-shaped but solid black, walk from the bedroom, down the hallway, and stop directly in front of the camera. It stands there for nearly 2 minutes, and then it moves toward the camera, quickly, and the footage cuts out. Now, skeptics will say it's camera glitches, light tricks, or even an elaborate hoax. But here's what convinced me: this is real. The couple never monetized this footage. They didn't sell their story. They simply uploaded it to a paranormal forum asking for help, then deleted everything and moved. They wanted nothing to do with attention or money. So what was in that apartment? A residual haunting? An intelligent entity? Or something else entirely that we don't have words for yet? From paranormal activity in an apartment to something that happened in broad daylight in front of hundreds of witnesses. July 26, 2015. A mother and her young son are at a shopping mall in Jingzhou, China. They step onto an escalator heading upward, something millions of people do every single day without thinking twice. But on this day, something went horribly wrong. Security footage shows the mother and child riding up the escalator normally. As they reach the top, mall employees are standing near the end of the escalator, waving at them frantically, trying to warn them about something. The metal panel at the top of the escalator, the one you step off onto, was loose. As the mother stepped on it, the panel gave way, and she started falling into the escalator's machinery. In that split second, that single moment, where most people would panic and freeze, this mother did something extraordinary. She lifted her child and threw him forward to the mall employees before she fell completely into the machinery. The employees caught the child, but they couldn't save the mother. The footage shows them trying desperately to pull her out, but the escalator mechanism had already caught her clothing. She was pulled completely under within seconds. She died, saving her child. But here's what makes this footage particularly haunting. In the seconds before she stepped on that panel, watch her movements. It's almost like she hesitates, like some instinct told her something was wrong. She slows down slightly, looks down at the panel, and then steps forward anyway. Did she know? Could she sense something was wrong in that brief moment? Or are we just seeing what we want to see in hindsight? This footage raises painful questions about fate, about split-second decisions, about whether we sometimes sense danger before our conscious mind can process it. From a mother's ultimate sacrifice to our final piece of footage, something that was never meant to be recorded and probably should have stayed hidden. This final entry discusses extremely disturbing content related to criminal activity. I'll keep the description vague, but viewer discretion is strongly advised. For those who don't know, red rooms are an urban legend from the dark web, supposedly live streams where people commit horrific acts in real time. Most law enforcement and cybersecurity experts agree that true red rooms don't exist. They're technically impossible due to bandwidth limitations and would be immediately traced. But in 2016, an investigator claimed to have found and recorded something that challenges that assumption. The footage, or rather, the screen recording of the footage, shows what appears to be a live stream from a dark website. The stream shows a small, empty room with concrete walls, no furniture, just harsh overhead lighting and a camera at a fixed angle. According to the investigator who recorded this, the stream ran for 3 hours before anything happened. Then, a figure entered the room. The figure appeared to be restrained and distressed. I won't describe what happened next, but the investigator who recorded this claimed that there were hundreds of viewers watching, and a chat room where people were making requests and sending cryptocurrency. What makes this recording so disturbing isn't just the content, it's that if it's real, it confirms something we hoped wasn't possible. That somewhere in the world, people gathered online to watch something horrific happen in real time. Law enforcement agencies have never confirmed whether this footage is authentic. The investigator who uploaded it disappeared from online forums shortly after. The video itself has been scrubbed from most platforms, though copies allegedly still circulate in certain corners of the internet. So, is it real? We may never know for certain, but it forces us to confront an uncomfortable truth. The internet has dark corners we can't fully monitor or control, and some footage exists that pushes the boundaries of what we understand about human cruelty. Should this footage be seen? Should it be preserved as evidence or destroyed? These are questions without easy answers. And that brings us to the end of our list. So there you have it, 7 pieces of footage that challenge what we think we know about reality, safety, and the world around us. Some of these videos show paranormal phenomena. Some show tragic human events. Some show things we simply can't explain. But they all have one thing in common. They were real moments, captured by real people, that continue to haunt us long after we've watched them. Now, I want to know from you, have you seen any of these pieces of footage before? And more importantly, are there other disturbing videos you think should have made this list? Let me know in the comments below. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means you're human. These aren't meant to entertain. They're meant to remind us that the world is stranger and more frightening than we sometimes want to admit. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, because here at Unsolved Files, we dig deeper into mysteries like these every single week. And if you made it this far without clicking away, hit that like button. You're braver than most. Thanks for watching, and remember, some mysteries are better left unsolved.